Hey, I'm Aaron. I'm one of the founders of Deliver That.
I'm John, other co-founder of Deliver That. Welcome to the Founder Series.
Founders for life.
But I always wanted to run a business. You know, I'd be doing that. I'd be doing accounting. I'd be saying like, okay, I want to own a business. I want to run a business. I want to learn finance. Like, to run a business, you guys know you got to know sales, you got to know ops, you got to know finance. So I was trying to develop those skills, and got introduced through somebody I'd met through my network to the owners of my company, of Affinity Whole Health, and it was COVID, so it was like phone calls. So I'd talk with one owner for like a couple hours, and we finally, got comfortable having a meeting. So we have a meeting for an hour, and we just talk and talk and talk. And
Had you ever really interacted with a founder before
yeah, for
that?
sure,
Like,
for sure.
Like in an intimate discussion, like they're interviewing you in a way.
Like Brian Cruz, who we were talking before this started, I cold emailed Brian, and just to network. I was like, dude, he's doing something really cool. He seems like an awesome person, and you kind of just, politely follow up. And so we finally grabbed coffee and talked, and he talked me out of some different business ideas. But there was one conversation he probably doesn't even remember where I could kind of feel like he was interviewing me a little. He was kind of like, can this guy fit in? And apparently I couldn't. But no, you have those conversations sometimes.
Yeah, because I won't even catch myself at times because me and John are founders. This is all we've ever done since we've been 19, and it's like, we are a little intimidating at times.
Sure.
Can come across a certain way.
Yeah.
I know at least I can.
Yeah.
And, I just wasn't sure if you had if you liked those conversations with founders.
Oh, I mean, it's a high pressure conversation. And situation. Like every couple of weeks, I'd be talking to my wife, like, do I follow up with an email? Like it's like the most high stakes dating ever. And it's like, dude, I don't want to. I'm interested, but they're interested. I don't want to be too interested. Do I email?
Dude, this sounds so right. And it's like, and all we're thinking is like, dude, come on, please pick us.
Yeah.
Please.
Yep. It's actually the opposite.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, hiring, dude. Read that book. Hiring is. I've gotten really good at it. We could talk about that, but no. So like for literally a year, I'm like reaching out to these guys, and it switched. They'd be like, well, maybe you could be our chief marketing officer. Maybe you could be our, and so I'd come up with a whole pitch on that, and they'd be like, well, maybe you should be our COO or do ops or do this, or maybe you run sales. And I just kept pivoting. And so eventually, like after a year, they're like, yeah, it's just not going to happen. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
And you're not even working there yet.
No, this is like a year-long just relationship building. Like I'm still at my company, like I'm selling, I'm doing well there. And so 2 weeks later, my wife is in labor with our first son. We're in the hospital. My son is born during halftime of the Super Bowl. And it was the blowout where Brady came back. Like by halftime, the game's over, so I don't care. And so I get a text, and it's from this guy. He's like, yeah, we should do it. Literally in the hospital. He's like, when can you start? And I'm like, I turn to my wife, and she's like, you gotta do it. And so then at the same time, so we're living downtown. We had this awesome apartment on East 9th in Chester. Sweet.
Yep.
We were there for like 4 years. So we're in the apartment. We got a newborn. I'm starting this job. My wife takes a new job, new board job. And we decide we're going to move in with my in-laws and build a house. So this is all within like a month we make these decisions. And I can genuinely tell you, like, there's a lot of that time I don't remember. Like, just a blur. Like, you guys have been there. Like, when you're starting something.
I've been there.
Yeah.
Too many times.
But that first 6 months, literally in the first month, I had 4 out of the 5 people at one of our locations quit. So it's literally.
And this is what, like 21?
This is 2021. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
prime.
This is like March.
Prime COVID.
Yeah, it's like late COVID.
Yeah.
I'm like in the offices. I'm interacting with people I don't know who are in a medical clinic, and I have a newborn at home.
I gotta ask you, okay,
Yeah.
so obviously, like, I don't really care which side you're on, political. I don't really care about politics that much.
Yeah.
It's like, but how difficult was it going into a new company that you're ultimately running?
Yeah.
And you got to interact with mass, and like you got to be
Man.
5, whatever it was, 6 feet. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember? Was that like super difficult to connect with people?
It made it a little tougher, for sure. These are it's 15 people who I have no history with. So I don't know where they stand, how comfortable they are with things.
Are you guys doing virtual yet by chance?
We were doing some virtual, but a lot of it was still coming in the clinics. I mean, everybody's coming in to get their blood drawn. So literally so it's the first week, end of the week, everybody comes in to get their blood drawn. The phlebotomist does the blood draws, and she's like, I have COVID. This is somebody I was sitting next to getting trained for like 3 days. And I'm like, okay, so you pivot, you scramble. I'm starting, you make phone calls, emails. I find a temp to replace her for a week. And at the same time, I mean, you guys remember it's like somebody gets COVID, and then were you guys remote or were you in person? Were you in the office?
We did a little. I think a lot of it was remote, a little bit as a blend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like somebody gets COVID, you got to scrub the office. You can't tell anybody, but you got 12 people. Everybody knows.
Yep.
So that was a mess.
Yeah, Ben, you remember like what we were doing during COVID?
I
wasn't down here that much. I was living in Cleveland at the time.
We were out of the office for maybe like a month.
Yeah.
Like I think March hit. Obviously, that was like the worst of it. Then maybe through April, and then I think by May.
I don't think Stark County was as bad as Cuyahoga County either.
Yeah, that's
No.
probably
Like
true.
with like the whatever was going on.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And I remember just being so freaking pissed off because I went to Lifetime like in Beechwood.
Yeah.
And dude, they had, granted, you can't, didn't make the rules, but you had to follow them. Just the rules about weightlifting and exercising, and like, you would think at that point,
Yeah.
you'd want people to be active and going and sweating and like
the
Right.
only
being
thing
healthy,
that's fighting
and
against.
like,
Right.
it's like you're told like, nope, you can't do it. Couldn't sauna.
Yep.
Yeah.
Couldn't sauna. Couldn't steam.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, dude, my wife delivered a baby and we had masks on. Right? Like, now, in retrospect, and I told my parents this, so I don't feel bad saying it, like, it was great that nobody could come see us. Because
Yeah, I'm sure.
there was no
Y'all-
visitors.
Yeah.
I have a 1.5-year-old.
Do you?
Yeah. And,
Okay.
I'm not saying it was great, but I do remember sitting in the hospital and be like, fucking,
Like,
let me
yeah,
alone.
really-
Leave me alone.
I'd like to get some sleep here.
Yeah, I know. It's
I'd like to get some time
can I
with the
just
family.
Yeah, can I just enjoy my newborn and my
Yeah.
wife and not the crowd here?
Yeah. So I don't know. I have a tendency in these conversations to just bounce around a ton. So feel free to try and reel me in.
No, dude, this
good.
is I think this is great.
Cool.
But yeah, so like
Yeah.
COVID,
Yeah.
you get involved with Affinity Health, and still I'm struggling to understand what exactly you guys do though.
Yeah. Well, let me go back. So the two guys, the two founders, Brian and Jerry, they're scratching their own itch. They're 30s. They're tired. They got kids. They got businesses. I mean, that's a lot of who we serve. Historically, 90% plus of our patients are guys, and most of them are on testosterone replacement, right?
Is there like an age you would say? I'm sorry to keep cutting you
Yeah,
off,
no,
'cause
please do.
I'm honestly just learning something now. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's helpful.
I'm 30 years old.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm pretty active. I
Yeah.
lift a lot of weights still.
Yeah.
Like we walk when I golf. Like
Yeah.
like when should someone like me be thinking about testosterone?
Yeah, is it a when? Is it a
It
what?
depends, and it's individual. I literally have tested people that we've tested. People that are 70 plus years old are like, yeah, I'm kind of run down, and their levels are high. It's some of it's generational. Our generation has less testosterone than our parents, who had less testosterone than our grandparents. It's the environment. It's our jobs. We have less physical jobs. It's less smoking. Smoking raises your testosterone. Not recommending it.
Could do a little, couple
You'll-
black miles
yeah,
on the course
yeah,
there.
so
There you
you'll
go.
see
Yeah.
me- I gotta go. I
fix
gotta black
that.
them out today.
There you
this
go.
afternoon to me.
Yeah.
On the course.
Yeah, I might have to come play.
No, but I mean, it's all the plastics around us. I mean, this stuff we all have lower testosterone. So I kind of started the job and I was like, all right, let's try it. And, I got my testosterone test and it was low. And, there's the range. There's the normal range, call it 300 to 1100.
Okay.
But that's for everyone at all ages. I would prefer to be toward the top of that, have more energy, feel better, more confident, more drive.
Yep.
Huberman, we were talking about before we started, he says the benefit of testosterone is it makes effort feel good.
Love that.
I think about that a lot. Like when you're 18, you're going to the gym, you're like, this is sweet. Now I'm 36 going to the gym, I was like, And some of that's got to do with 2 little kids and a job and everything. But, for you, it's like, if you don't feel quite, if there's nothing else medically going on, it doesn't hurt to get checked. So you just get your levels checked.
Sure.
I'm definitely gonna take you up on that. 'Cause,
Cool.
I mean, I'd say I don't think I struggle from low testosterone, but I wouldn't mind getting my numbers up a little bit.
A little
Yeah.
boost.
You know?
Hey, you're 500, why not?
Yeah.
you know,
Why not be 2,000?
All right.
why not a billion? You know, I mean, just make it an even B.
All right, back to the founders. You know, what were they? They were scratching their own itch.
Yeah, they're like, okay, they talk to somebody who's on a program. They're like, this is sweet. They're like, okay, let's do it. And so they're flying to, I think, Texas. And they're like, well, we could do this. There's like, there's really no barrier. You partner with a doctor, you partner with a pharmacy, and you run these tests, the doctor diagnoses, and you send it. And then you bring people in after 6 months, lab tests.
What was the other way? Going to a normal doctor and then getting prescribed? Or
So what's interesting about hormones is traditional doctors don't do it well. You know, has your doctor ever tested your testosterone?
Yeah.
No. Gynecologists for females don't really test hormones.
In fact, I would say the only thing I've ever heard about any sort of hormone therapy is it's bad. That's the only thing I've ever heard ever from anybody.
A lot of
like
people
from
hear
my
that.
doctors, like it's just bad. It'll hurt in the long run. It'll hurt your body. And like,
if done poorly. Yeah. I mean, we talk to, so frankly, we have a lot of doctors that come to us for treatment. Part of that's because we have sort of a unique protocol we've developed. And part of that's because we specialize in it and we just make it easy. You know, like they could go to the pharmacy every month, get the supplies, or they come to us, we ship them a box, you're good for 5-6 months. So, you know, so these guys, the two founders, they kind of just said, okay, like let's maybe try this. You know, we want to try this anyway. Let's just test it. And they, you know, it's slow rolling because again, back in 2012, you're educating people on what this is.
Yeah.
Like, what is testosterone therapy? Is this
almost
steroids?
like almost like in a way creating the market. Right?
Yeah.
They were creating the market. I mean, there
we
really wasn't
We were
any
doing something similar with catering.
Yeah,
You go
exactly.
to restaurants, they're like, we don't do that.
Yeah,
you
it's
don't
like,
do that.
okay, but you could.
Yeah.
Now everyone does.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Have
Exactly.
commercials.
KFC whipping out caterings, all right?
Yeah.
Colonel. Pumping out the chicken, all right?
All right. So, so they have to create this,
Yeah.
educate this market.
Yeah, and so they do, and it's just slowly, they just grinded, you know, for years. And it probably was like 2017, 2018 where it started to pick up. That's when they opened a second clinic. So they started in Cleveland, Beechwood. They had a tiny clinic. They expanded it like a less small clinic now. And then they added Columbus. And then from there, they kind of just were coasting a little bit, growing a little bit each year, but they were totally out of the business.
Making money.
Yeah,
was working.
they're hands off. You know, they're not the operators.
Yeah.
So they've hired different people to be operators, and eventually, you know, that conversation I had with them over the course of a year, they're like, we got somebody here that's just not pushing it hard enough. You know, they were part-time, kind of doing this and their own things, and it just wasn't the right recipe. And so we had those conversations, and I literally, I mean, it was chaotic to start. I mean, you guys have been there with, so I'm not the founder, but I think I get some of what it's like to be a founder of a business, or at least the CEO, where it is just put your head down and just find the solution.
I think
Like,
having the buck stop at you gets you pretty close to
absolutely. I mean,
feeling
it
what
doesn't.
a founder feels.
Yeah, I mean, it just, at the end of the day, it's either fixed or it's not. And if it's not fixed, that's on me.
Yep. Exactly.
And if it is fixed, let me give credit to other people if I can.
Yep.
But either way, we just get on, you know, just check it off the to-do list because there's 10 other things.
Yep. Exactly.
What was like, I don't think you were involved at this point, but like, what was like the flagship product at the time that they went to market with? Was it just like a testosterone supplement, or, you know?
It has changed a ton over the years. So there was like Deca and like Nandrolone, or like some other like serious like you know, borderline like steroids. But it's really just testosterone now. There's peptides that were popular for a long time. Some of the regulations changed around those. There's some famous athletes that have gotten dinged for some of those.
Who was the most, someone of note got in trouble for doing peptides?
Was
Tristan
it,
Thompson.
Yeah.
Oh.
He was
One.
he was taking Ostarine.
Yes, that's why he got,
Unimorin, I think.
Is that why he just recently got, maybe last year, right?
It was last season. Yeah.
Yeah, he
knew
may have
someone in
done. He may have been
Cleveland.
doing a bunch.
Something.
Yeah, but I remember seeing the headline. I was like, my wife's like, "Is that what you offer?" I was like, "Yeah," but not to pro athletes.
Let the boys play. Come on.
Yeah,
We all want to see it. Baseball was better in the 90s. All right? I'm just going to say it.
I agree.
It was. It was way better.
I agree.
well, I mean, Indians were pretty good.
They were great.
Yeah,
They were just fucking
They
launching.
just couldn't bring it home, man.
yeah.
You know, maybe like not do like the let the pro football players get all juiced up because it's so high impact. But man,
Sure.
Yeah, you kill people.
imagine like seeing remember when DeChambeau was hitting like
Or
400
LeBron on steroids if he's not.
Yeah, he
Just dunking
remember
over
like
everyone.
DeChambeau though, in steroid years, dude.
He was huge.
Bro,
It's
he
a
put on like
bowling
50
ball.
pounds of muscle.
Yep.
He had to have like 6,000 calories a day
Yep.
to maintain that. He was hitting 400-yard bombs.
Yeah, it's like, let them. I don't care how far
do you have like
drive
an
the ball.
opinion on this? Like if you think
So I love the movie Bigger, Stronger, Faster. Have you ever seen that?
I don't,
I've seen
I don't
bits and
think-
pieces
The
of it.
documentary.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool, but I don't know. I mean, I do have an opinion on it, but publicly, I think pro sports, they can figure their stuff out. I mean, it runs a risk in certain sports like football, but you look at the Olympics, and a lot of people will say like every one of those people at that level is on something. You know,
You think the other
Interesting.
countries aren't taking something?
I don't know. I mean,
Russia?
like the doping scandals. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
you find out like everybody's doping.
I mean, this is again my ignorance to this. Is like,
Sure.
does doping literally mean like you're taking a peptide? Is that what you
think-
call doping?
No, I think doping has something to do with your blood. I think you like blood doping, like you take it out
Oh,
and
I
do
think
something
you're.
with it.
I think you're right.
Okay, so that I think of dope. Like back in the the dare teacher in elementary school, like don't
Like
do
drugs.
dope. You don't do drugs.
Yep.
It's dope.
Yeah.
It's like, was that pot or was that?
Anything.
So that, I did not know that's what it was, man.
Yeah, I think
I feel like you know a lot about this topic.
well,
Yeah, you keep going to
I'm,
him.
I'm fairly well researched
expert.
in the SARM and the peptide region of the world, but I think
Well researched, well experienced.
yeah, and experience as well, facts. But the Russia doping is obviously the most like premier scandal.
Right.
And so
And
what
then-
they're literally doing like blood transfusions of like.
They got caught basically tainting the samples that were getting tested, where they were even drilling holes
Yeah.
through where the samples were housed and switching out the samples so that when they tested them, there wasn't levels of the HGH or whatever substance they were using in the blood.
Was that the documentary Icarus?
Yeah, Icarus. Yep.
That's a good one.
Yeah, great.
That's one that documentary starts as one thing and takes a whole left turn. It gets crazy. That's a good one.
You ever seen Severance?
Yeah.
It's too early for that.
I try to drop that every one of our episodes. I love that show, man. I love it.
No, I've seen the first season, so don't.
I'm not.
No spoilers.
Oh yeah,
All right, cool.
it's good.
It's very good. You're gonna like season 2.
All right, good.
But, okay. So catching us up here now. Okay.
We
So-
guys are just focused on testosterone for a while.
Yeah, that
Right.
was. I mean, and we've always sent it to people's homes. You know, so there's like kind of like 3 groups.
Yeah, a little privacy.
There's
And, yep.
there's like the local practice where you come in every week and they give you an injection, and then you got like the online models like a Hims, or there's some other versions of that where they send it to you, but you never really talk to anybody. You never talk to a doctor. I've secret shopped some of those, and it's like I've never talked to anybody. I've sent a couple messages. They didn't test my blood very much. There was like just a few things.
Interesting.
We kind of fall in the middle where there's a place to go. There's a person to meet before you inject something from the internet. There's thorough blood testing. There's medical providers there at the clinic. But most people will come in for a blood draw, meet the provider, get the results, do a telehealth appointment, and then it ships to their house, and they come back in 5-6 months, and they have somebody. We have like individual, like how you guys have your like team that answers calls here from your drivers. We have patient care coordinators who are in the office. They sit next to the doctors. If you have questions, they're going to talk to you about it and help you out.
So there's a
I
much
like that.
elevated level of service. I feel
It's a high service level.
Mm-hmm.
like. I mean, for someone like me, I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable putting something in my body that because I want to talk to like a professional of some capacity.
Yeah.
Especially the first
Or
time
have the ability
you do
to,
this.
Yeah.
You know.
If you
Yeah.
get used to it, maybe you don't need it as much. But
Right.
man, in the beginning,
Right.
talking about your own
It's,
health.
it's so important when you're talking about creating the market. You almost have to be available to talk to these individuals.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got people who are, for the vast majority, people have never injected themselves with a medication,
Yeah.
unless you're diabetic. You really don't. Most medications aren't injectable, and so you got people for the very first time that are drawing up a syringe, making sure to wash their hands and use an alcohol pad and inject it. Like, how do I do that? So it's nice to have somebody to teach you, especially like if this is your first time venturing into it. You want some comfort level there.
Absolutely.
Especially say it's 2012. So fast forwarding a bit. So they opened the Columbus clinic. 2021 rolls around, COVID. I joined the team. Some chaotic turnover. I'm literally we lose 4 out of 5 staff at one location, and like there's a machine that I'm literally like greased up fixing. Like I'm learning how to run machines.
Why they leave because new management?
2 people were let go, and then 2 people quit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And all of a sudden it's a good change.
And they all went to go start a company that doesn't exist anymore.
Sure.
And
We've
so
seen that.
what's that?
We've seen that.
A couple times.
Happens. Best of luck to everybody.
I respect it. But
Yeah. And so, you're rehiring people. I mean, and then there's people that, I come in and instead of being hands off and part-time, I'm going, okay, let's get to these clinics. Let's see how the experience is. Let's clean up some documents. Let's update these things. Let's track everything. Let's put in new systems. Not everybody likes that. Some people like kind of a sleepy organization. And so some people, I think we had 50% turnover in the first 6 months I was there.
wow.
Yeah.
At least they weed themselves out.
For the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Makes
have
it
some people who quit without notice. One person gave us like 3 months notice, and we transitioned him to go start a business, and he's still a friend.
Wow. That's great. Nice to not burn a bridge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so then since then, we've opened 2 more clinics. So we went from 2 locations to 4, 1 state to 3. We service 3 additional states without clinics. It's all just online. And we've, we saw you guys at the Fast 50 Awards.
Yep.
So you guys were on stage because you guys in Cruise were a little. You're top 5. We were like top 40 or something.
That's still congrats on that. That's still pretty
Thank
incredible.
you.
Seriously.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
You
it was our first time winning it, so it was good.
Yeah, I bet.
I feel like that was again another experience of mine on like why John and I are so passionate about telling this story,
Yeah.
at least from our vantage point of Northeast Ohio and businesses here that have done incredible things.
Yeah.
I never knew you guys existed, man. And you
Yeah.
guys are like the underdogs right now. If you
Yeah.
compare it to like a Roman or a Hims.
Yeah,
Sure.
your industry.
Those are big ones, at least. Is Roman publicly traded?
They're not, but they're
Okay.
big.
Okay.
Yeah.
Privately massive, but
Yeah.
like Hims, John Zeno's made some money on them in the stock market a few times.
Damn right.
No, not financial advice by any means,
Pretty low, right?
but like being the underdog in this market,
Yeah.
and like doing things different. Like, does that give you a tremendous amount of pride building this in NEO?
Absolutely. I mean, the founders are Cleveland guys. I'm a Cleveland guy, like you guys, and I do feel like an underdog sometimes. We just feel like we're scrappy and we're hustling and we're trying to take care of people and grow. We're creating jobs here locally.
Yep.
It does feel good, and it does feel good to be the underdog and still succeed.
And what's most impressive is you're like, this is the 14th episode we've done, and I swear every one of the founders or CEOs we've brought on has given a very similar story about how they're not afraid to roll their sleeves up
Yep.
and go fix a machine.
Yep.
Go visit, go change things, go figure something out new, teach people. It's
Absolutely.
Like, I feel like this is embodied in this area, and it's not embodied everywhere else. At least on the coast, right? You talk about the West Coast and East Coast.
Yeah.
It's like they might be the brains, right?
Sure.
Even though Miami's a pretty prestigious school, I will say that. Would you graduate your
What's that? What year?
year and GPA. If you don't mind.
2011. I think I had like a 0.9 GPA.
He's got me beat.
No, it was like 3.0, something like that.
Okay. I think it was like a 2.3 at OU.
Yeah, I think I was the only
0.7,
person in my
baby.
master's. I did a master's of accounting because you had to do the 150.
Yeah.
I think I was the only person in that program that ever got a D in one of those classes because they wouldn't fail me.
Yeah.
But there was a class that I basically just didn't get along with the teacher. He
been
thought
there.
his class was important, and I disagreed. So
I think we have a story like how me and John are, in this entrepreneurship 300 level class at
Yeah.
OU, and like the guy's
Tough.
like, you know more about business than we do, well, like than I do because I've never even run a business. And I'm like,
That's a good.
we're learning about entrepreneurship with this guy. Like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah,
yeah.
that changed my whole mindset pretty quickly.
I was in college and I hated reading when I was younger, and I was in college and that's when I fell in love with reading because I realized wait, all this knowledge is just out there. like
Yep.
Instead of hearing from the professor who, okay, you're a teacher, that's great, you know the book, but you don't have necessarily experience in it. You can just read Cuban's book or Tim Ferriss's book or somebody who's out there doing this.
Yep.
And I kind of feel like it's similar in Cleveland where everyone's accessible. Like
Truly.
you're probably reaching out to people to be on this show or to, like I reached out to you semi-cold,
Yep.
just through Savannah. Is like, hey, do you mind just let me pick your brain on
Yeah.
how to solve this business problem? You're like, yeah, let's do it.
Yep.
And people in Cleveland are just very welcoming that way. It's a very accessible city without looking for anything in return. I couldn't do what I did in Chicago or LA or Boston. Like it just, it just wouldn't happen.
I know for me, I just enjoy talking about business
Yeah.
and thinking through it. And I would assume most other people are, if they're passionate about it, they like it too.
And what Elias, it's like the game of business.
Yeah.
And that's like, I always wanted to tell, I
It's
didn't know
all
how to,
similar.
I didn't know how to phrase this to John when I was like, you're not, because him and I are wired a little bit differently.
Yeah.
And like, I love building this company and obviously starting, building what we're doing now. But like, I think John is like, he loves doing the game of business.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's very good at it.
Yeah. What is that? So how do you define that? Like, what's the game of business?
Yeah,
What is that?
Explain to us, the audience, like why you've been really successful in almost every venture you've done. From think about us doing roofing in college to
Knocking on doors in Alabama. It's terrible.
to selling.
I've done that.
out there.
I've done that for
Yeah.
waterproofing, going door to door.
To selling
Oh yeah.
vape pens.
I think
Oh, I was thinking about. Okay, all right.
I think it's
No.
when we were starting deliver that out of college, it was more like if we just bring value to the customers, we'll get paid. So I think I just
Right.
use that same thing over and over, and I've seen it just applies everywhere. If you bring value, you get paid. So I think that understanding how to bring value to customers and people using your product or service, that to me has been the game of finding how to bring value and what the value is, and it
See, I'd answer this
seems to be the same thing.
I'd answer this differently.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think necessarily how to bring the most amount of value.
Mm-hmm.
You are the best at identifying opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
and when there's an opportunity present, you're like, I got to do this.
Yep. I mean, that's fair. I think,
I
I think going a level deeper, it is just bringing value, and that's the opportunity. That's like one level deeper.
Yeah.
So can I ask, like how do you identify what's a good opportunity? Like in your head, what are you thinking through? Like, how do you?
So I'm telling you, John, this is a real talent of yours. I'm not
Yeah,
blowing smoke.
I don't know. I don't have like really a framework.
Okay.
Like with our commercial building, it's in Old Brooklyn.
Okay.
Watching that there's no more tax abatements in Ohio City. We
Right.
did that for the last 10 years. Worked out extremely well. They're now taking all those tax abatements. They're taking a good amount of them, and now they're doing it in Old Brooklyn.
Okay.
And I go through Old Brooklyn. I'm looking at all these pretty shitty buildings, and I watched this real estate podcast, and the guy described most commercial buildings as just commodities.
Right.
And he's like, we look at it a little different. If we take these commercial buildings and be a little bit above a commodity, whatever that is called, people will pay more. So we did that with our building, and we rent it out in a second, and it works.
Very nice.
So that, I don't know, like that, just kind of using all my resources and things that I've learned and just applying it in every aspect of it.
That's a good example. I'll give you
Yeah.
one example of John that I remember this. While we're doing this business, this would have been this was before COVID, right? 2018, maybe 2019.
Maybe.
Remember like Jules, like the little vape
Yeah.
pens? Like, remember
Yeah.
those? Okay. They used to run a deal at Speedway.
Well, this is 2017.
Yeah.
Yeah.
27.
We were making no money.
I'm living in my dad's basement.
Yep.
Okay? Like
Yeah.
$100 a week. We're paying each other $100 a week.
Our W-2 is Ruby Tuesday as delivery drivers.
Yeah.
That's
My only real job, essentially. My only that and Subway when I was in high school. But
man.
I'll tell you, like,
Yeah.
John, this being the opportunist, okay, Speedway was having a deal where it's like you buy, what was it, 1 Joule or 2 Joules, you get 2 free or something
they were
like
just
that.
50% off.
Yeah, 50. So he
Couldn't get them anywhere else.
and so like,
You got a little arbitrage going on?
dude, he opened
arbitrage
a
over lifetime.
Speedway credit card, so he gets points on these transactions, and then you can sell these in different parts of the country for like
Yeah.
double the value.
Yeah.
Well, so I just listed on eBay, never even bought it, and then I sold like 5, and I was like, oh shit, I gotta go.
Now I got to go buy 5 of
buy
them.
You bought hundreds of them, didn't you?
That was the first day, and yeah, for a month, I think I sold like 200, 300.
So this man just arbitrages like a few, was it 5,
Yeah.
10 grand maybe? I don't know. But dude, it's that in everything he does though.
Yeah.
So to where I'm just like almost like a
So that's maybe the game is like
Yeah.
it was just a little win.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of just are sitting here. If I do this and I fit this puzzle piece here and I ship it there,
Yep.
triple my money.
Yep. And then you just put it all on Ethereum at $30 because I never took the money.
when did you
out.
buy your first Bitcoin?
In 2013
No
when
way.
we started this business.
That's what I'm talking about. This guy is not. He's not
Yeah.
normal. He sees things. I'm serious. He sees things before they really surface up. You ever seen like
Yeah.
the graph where it's like the early adopter, and then you got, you know that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's like the farthest to the left you can be of like early
Yeah, for
adopters.
sure.
or,
All right,
like,
so what's on the short list today? What's the early? What are you early adopting? Options on Mars tickets?
No options.
Okay.
I get a little too risky.
This is not financial advice, by the way.
I like
This
my,
is financial
Good
advice.
call. Good call. Good
I like
call.
my I like my double bulls, my the ETFs of any normal stock.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a few. We'll see.
All right.
We'll see if they pan out.
But here, like another thing we're doing, like, you know, looking at this business and like looking at different ways to monetize it, different
Right.
businesses you can run in this business. So,
Yeah.
you know, this is like we have a media business now essentially that we're running
Yeah.
as well. You know, as long as a delivery, fulfillment company, a software side to it, you know, e-commerce, and there'll be a few other things we stand up. But you know, John is the one that I will give him credit. He can see things before they really surface up, and it's a true talent of his.
Yeah, he's got that eye for value. Does that translate to the team here, to people? Like, can you spot somebody on your team and be like, we should elevate that person?
I'd say this is where no,
I wouldn't say no.
absolutely not. I would say you live.
I think I've called out plenty of things that usually I'm just a little early on.
Dude, that's a problem, is it? But it doesn't resonate with people here because no one can think as far ahead as he does.
Yeah.
So, for example, I'll give you another example. Okay, we have this software right now. All right, I'm not going to give too much of the details here, but John had an idea on what to do with this software literally 7 years ago.
Yeah.
He said it in passing in a conversation to my brother Dan, who works here, by the way, and I had that idea a few weeks ago or a few months ago.
Yeah.
And I didn't know he talked to my brother Dan about it. So I'm pitching this idea to my brother Dan, and Dan's like, dude, John came up with that 7 years ago. It's nothing even new. I'm like, he did it again. So it's just like that. And I think that's where too high level and trying to disseminate that down to someone that's in the day-to-day that only sees 5 feet in front of them, not 50,000 feet in the air, it is so hard to digest that.
For sure.
Yeah.
If you're not wired that way.
So can I ask you about something that John told me was that you had a role in the company. You stepped away for like a year to learn how to program.
Dude,
Is that right?
Yes.
Even a little, yeah. I mean, he was the CEO.
I mean, so that's a huge decision. Like, how do you make that?
Man.
I know in my head it seemed like it was either the business just
It was do or die.
becomes stagnant
I'll tell you right now.
or dies.
I'll tell the story right now why I did this. Okay, I'm not going to name any companies or where I was at, but I was at an industry event, and an individual looked me in the face, and said, "If you can solve this problem with software,
Yeah.
that'd be something we'd be very interested in buying."
Yeah.
So I am obviously money motivated. I used to think that, you know, if I made a bunch of money, I'd be happy. And it's like,
Yeah.
you realize once you have that, that's not really, it might be a motivator of yours, not the actual reason why you do it.
Right.
Because everyone wants to feel valued. And money is typically, or monetary, you know, compensation, you get, you know, shown value. But anyways, so at that moment, this would have been November of 21, maybe. I think that's when it was.
Yeah.
At that moment, and that after the discussion, I look at John basically and say, dude, I need to do this because no one else is capable of doing what I'm about to do. And that is to literally rewire your brain, essentially. Learn something completely novel to any of us. None of us have a software background.
Yeah.
None of us.
Yeah, we build everything with no code solutions like we
Right.
talked
And
about.
because
Right.
my thought was like, well, if we're going to build, you know, and also we were using all these different third-party products and services, and they just weren't, it wasn't the way we wanted to run our business.
Yeah.
And so, but at the time, like my thought was, well, I need a technical stake, a CTO probably to come in. Who the hell is going to manage that?
Right.
Because
Right.
if no one's technical, who's going to know if he's actually doing anything?
Yep.
So someone has to learn at some level how to manage or about software. So I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And literally, I will tell you right now exactly how I did it. I got stoned every morning. I smoked pot constantly. I still use recreational marijuana. I love it. I get my best ideas.
That's awesome.
I'll go on long runs after smoking a joint.
Yeah.
But like it helped me get my thoughts on. I've always thought like an engineer. Like,
Yeah.
It's almost like I put it this way: you're putting pipes together behind the walls.
Okay.
So I've always thought like that, but I never actually know how to actually write
Yeah.
code. So I literally just YouTube every morning. I would get up, I would take some PEDs, different types than this, you know, or some
Don't take those in the morning.
Yeah, no, not that. But it would get me going. I have a glass of a cup of coffee, and I would just sit on YouTube. I would sit in, I did Code Academy. I think it was free code camp.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
There's a coding academy I did online for free. I watched hundreds upon hundreds of videos, and at that point, I felt confident enough to start writing scripts myself. So I remember the first one I did. I wrote a routing script for our business, where basically at the time we had human beings looking at every single delivery in our business and be like, this one can go with this one, and I was like, I can handle this. I can flag these a little bit differently. So I literally wrote a G script, Google script. They have like a little thing an ID you can use, and I wrote it in there and it worked. And then we had an individual.
All right, so hang on.
Sorry.
I don't mean to like take over your podcast, but like that's a big moment.
Yeah.
I'm on the spot now.
Like.
Oh
yeah, man. Making calls to a server and getting a response back that's not 400 or 500. You're not breaking things. It's like pretty cool feeling. So yeah, this would have been, I guess, 22, and at that point we had a dispatcher that was going to night code camp, like night camp he wanted to be a developer. And I was like, he wrote. This would have been like a month into me writing code, and I'm like, actually, at this point, I'm writing things like I'm in Visual Studio, whatever. I'm literally actually writing I'm writing my own application now. For any of the people out there that understand this, our first application was an Express API that I wrote that we just actually completely eliminated about 8 months ago. But that was I wrote the first application ever for this business and stood it up. In serverless, did it. It was in Node, wrote it through TypeScript, everything. So
that's amazing. But
we had a guy in here that he helped me think through more of like the writing the code part. If because I wasn't a developer by nature, but I thought like one. And then at that point, rest is history, man.
Yeah.
I knew enough to say, okay, I need this person. I happen to have an individual in my network that was a very successful. He's our CTO today.
Yeah.
That I picked his brain a bunch, got coffee with him, and it really was just the sheer determination of I have to do this.
Yeah.
Is either sink or swim. We have to do software. We got to build things, or else we're not going to survive in this.
Well, and that's like you said, the buck stops with you. You're the owners, you're the founders. Like, who else is going to do it? You can't rely on somebody in your team necessarily to do it for you.
Yeah.
Or I never even thought about it like that. Roll your sleeves up and get your hands dirty. And do something crazy and do something you never. Yeah, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
So.
And now today, by the way, we've got it's like our second largest department.
Yeah.
Is our software development department, and those guys are incredibly talented.
Yeah.
And the stuff they're making now.
Oh, you couldn't even
do machine learning. I mean, I don't even know what they're doing half the time. It's like, fucking hey,
it's amazing.
I'm glad you guys are doing this. It's not me.
Because it really is our job to bring in people that are better than us.
You have to.
Yeah. I mean,
but like sometimes those aren't the people that get you the 0 to 1. You got to build that foundation.
Right. They'll take you from 1 to 3 to 4 to 5, to scale it up.
Yep.
Like, so I feel like my role has changed a bunch. So I became the CEO beginning of last year. Until then, I was a COO, and I had to grow the business enough to take myself out of ops, mostly. And, we had to expand, we had to solve problems, we had to automate, we had to just grow, brute force, to hire a good accountant on staff that can take all that off my plate. Because I'm a CPA, and so it always would just fall back on me. And so to really get that off my plate, to get marketing off my plate by hiring a good marketing person, to get the ops person out of a sales role or a service role and into just management kind of role, to where I'm sort of probably where you guys are now a little bit almost, you're at a bigger scale, where you're deploying people. You're deploying those developers and steering them that way, and like the service team, and you have somebody that manages the people doing service. So like, yeah, it's kind of rewiring your brain again.
Yep.
To not think first like, oh, I'll fix it. I'll run the report. I'll find a solution.
And one thing that I realized too, for me, this is like my growth as a founder. I thought, I could be the CEO forever. And you know what? You might be the CEO of a 0 to 1, or the 1 to 10, or the 10 to 20, or whatever. But it might not be the same person doing that, right?
Yeah, there's different levels.
So
the CEO of Microsoft now couldn't start Microsoft.
Yeah, that's
just
a good
different.
point.
Yeah, so that's one thing that I've learned too. It's like as you're growing, it's like you either can keep up with the pace of the business, pivot the way it needs to, or like me, where it's like I'm a better visionary than a CEO.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to say that because it's the truth.
That was the big thing that changed, I think, this year or the beginning or the end of last year, is that we have so many great people that are really good at the how and being able to figure out how to do things.
Yeah.
But not everyone can do how and what. Those are two different things. So we define what the what is, or the visionaries define what the what is.
Right.
And then you have people who are incredible at executing. I'm one of the worst executors. He's a good executor, but he's got more vision than execution, I would say. And we have a lot of people that are really good at executing, and we were tasking them with also figuring out the what. So we're having them do that, even though they're really good at the how, and the how gets a little more mediocre because now they're worried about figuring out what to do. And that, I think, is the difficult part.
Jackie gave a great analogy of this when she was on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Jackie Bebenroth by chance?
I don't.
That's how I pronounce the last name, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bebenroth.
Yep. Her husband owns Spice Catering.
Yeah.
She owns
Muse
she owns
marketing agency.
nice
Very
marketing
cool.
agency.
She said there's people that see trees and there's people that see forests.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you either see one tree in front of your face or you can see the entire forest.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like imagine,
you can't do both.
Some people have the rare you can.
Okay.
There's a couple people that I've met that you can do both. They're very difficult to work with. Very, 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 and like they tend to be assholes. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
But it's okay. They have a place.
Yep.
But imagine telling someone that, hey, you need to look 1,000 feet down here, but they can only see 5 feet in front of them.
Right.
And that's when it's like
It's just going to frustrate everybody.
dude. You're going to play to people's weaknesses, not their strengths.
Yep.
Yeah.
And when we figured this out, it was like, oh my gosh, this all makes sense now to us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling this person to work on this, but they can't do this.
Yep. Or I'm telling them
You know?
how to do it, and it kind of takes away
And
their
there's
power.
some people like John, for example, he can't see a tree. He only sees a forest.
Right.
You can't
right.
see a tree. It's impossible.
It's a really humbling experience when you finally give up the reins and you see that the other person is so much better at it than you.
That's incredible.
Like our accountant that we hired is fantastic. She came into her interview and she was like, I was like, where do you want to, long term, where do you want to get to? She's like, I want your job. I was like, you're hired.
Yeah.
Take it.
Please take it.
Or like marketing, like he does things I can't. Nick can do things I can't even understand.
Yeah.
Like with AI.
That's how I
and
think
stuff.
about these guys, dude.
Yeah.
I swear, that's what I think about Ben. Right? I'm like, dude, how do you do this?
Like, because
Yeah.
we could think
and
about
for,
doing
and for him,
this.
it's easy and fun.
Yeah.
Yep. We could think about doing this, but we
Yeah.
could never do it because we always had to do this part
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Like, I can sit here and talk all day, but I can't figure out how to do it.
Right.
And now that we have people that can actually, it's here.
Actually, tell them exactly why you can't. Tell them the bringing that camera over to my house. What happened to that? That camera thing you ordered in my place. We're gonna start filming some content ourselves. How's that going so far?
We've just been in here.
How is that going so far, Ben?
I got some texts about what to get and where to get it, and I haven't heard anything since.
Case in point, I knew this was going to happen, by the way. I've been using it to film my golf swing in my basement, Am I in the slot yet? I'm not sure. But, no, that's a great example I can tell you right now.
Yep.
You made a point about your CTO being somebody you knew through your network.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I said earlier, like I love networking. For a while it was my job, but before that I loved it. I was the CPA accountant who was like out networking, hitting events, meeting people, connecting people. You should meet them. You should talk to them.
You are it's because usually accountants and software developers have very similar personalities where they're very, you sit in a cold, dark room, lights off, just plugging away.
We're checking
It's like,
boxes, right?
Yeah, you're
Completing things.
it's like you're an anomaly. It's like you're almost like our CTO. It's like he's almost a little bit, I'm not going to call him introverted or not extroverted, more like he can go either way.
Yeah.
He can hold a conversation.
Well, I can do the accounting work, but it's work. When I'm networking, when I'm meeting people, especially when I connect people, when I'm just like, hey, like I grabbed lunch with somebody the other day and I was like, okay, you should talk to the Baldwin Wallace Digital Marketing Clinic and you should talk to this guy who can connect you to Drew because he knows Amazon sales. That fuels me. Like that's fun to me. But what I always thought was so cool is like okay, it's who you know, but that can change. If you're willing to like growth happens outside your comfort zone, and maybe your comfort zone is talking to people you already know. But if you're willing to go have those uncomfortable conversations, like, okay, another quote that I'll steal is, your success is based on how many uncomfortable conversations you're going to have or like willing to have.
Yep.
Like if you're willing to go talk to strangers, you can find the pitch that will make your business grow at the conference, where the guy's like, do this and you'll make a lot of money. And then you find the person that can do that for you. Like, that's seeing the forest and connecting the pieces.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's your guys' job now, right?
Yep.
Like, now my job is mostly, it's less putting out fires than it used to be. It's not zero, but it's connecting things.
Oh yeah, me and John. It's all big picture stuff now.
Yeah.
Like neither of us are in the day to day of this business anymore.
How did like is that tough for you guys though, to not know 100% what's happening, or you trust your team? Like, okay, that's a loaded question. You're gonna obviously say yes.
He's really good at. He knows everything. He gives me updates every single day.
Yeah.
But he still is in the know.
Yeah.
Instead of saying is in the day to day.
Yeah. It lets you work on the business, not totally in it.
So
absolutely.
I think again, when you look at it, like, we consider this like the what and the how.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell people, me and John have a rare gift where we know what to do.
Yeah.
We know what, again, this goes back to this guy can identify opportunities, so
Right.
he can see things even farther ahead than I can. So we know the stuff we need to build, how to position our business, like how to, make sure we're compliant in different city. We know exactly what to do. We just don't know necessarily how to build it all. Like, I know what software we need to build.
Right.
I can't build it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So we have a bunch of people that can do the how. So that for me is like, once we took the what off everyone's plate,
And the how got off our plate.
Right.
dude,
Because like
infinitely better.
both sides are bogged down.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like I
Right.
work. I don't know how you feel. I don't feel like I even work anymore.
It's amazing.
Every day I wake up now, I'm like, dude, it's great.
Yep.
Like, come in here today, get a marketing update.
Yep.
I got to wire up a new thing for our dev team. I still do dabble a little bit in software. I'm like the junior engineer on the team. Okay, so if they need something done quick, I can hack it in. And,
Is there any way to make this work? I could pull a few strings.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
they call my projects. They put them in a folder for me they call them Aaron's special place. Like Happy Gilmore. It's like, go to your happy place. So that's, and then podcast and kind of have lunch and then gonna go golf 9, man. So
That's
that
not
does
a bad
not sound
way.
like it's not work to me anymore.
Yeah.
And it's because all I'm doing is the what. I'm not doing how anymore.
Yeah. I think that's awesome. You guys are at that space. I think everybody wants to get to that space. I think what's important to remember is, like, you don't get to that place by behaving that way, by just being high level and taking it easy. Like, you get there by grinding for a dozen years or something, and then you build a team and you build something that solves a problem for people, that creates value, and the reward is that situation.
I'm not afraid of getting in, doing I love doing deliveries.
Oh yeah, dude, I love talking to our patients. So we have this machine. It's like a body comp analysis machine. It tells you how much body fat you have and muscle and water and everything. And we had this guy in our Columbus office come in, and he was trying to think. He was like 300 plus pounds, and he's in one of our commercials we filmed. So we started doing television commercials, which is a whole nother avenue, and it's fun and stressful, but it's great. And I got his results from somebody. They said, Matt, you got to see this. In 8 months, the dude lost 138 pounds.
Oh,
Now, is that a combination of like literally discipline, like good diet, good exercise, and a little something from you guys?
Well, yeah. So that gets into okay. So this gets into like the weight loss medications.
I would love to learn more about this because, like,
Yeah.
for me, I'm always trying to get in tip-top shape.
Yeah.
And like, what would be a perfect this gentleman too, and then like someone like me.
Yeah.
It's like I want to lose 10, 15 more pounds.
Yeah. So that's a like a unique goal. This person wanted to lose 100 pounds. So for them, it was take a very strong weight loss medication and be dedicated. Now, dedicated means eating healthy, and for him, it was going on walks.
Okay.
And so I saw these results, and I picked up the phone. I go, I got to talk to this guy. So his name's Don. So I called Don and I said, hey, thank you for trusting us with your health. It's incredible.
because like he could do part of it on his own,
Yeah,
but he couldn't do it all with just
Yeah.
himself.
Yeah. So for him, it was, then we're filming a commercial, and I was like, call him back. I was like, do you by any chance want to be in a commercial? And he's like, yeah. So he showed up, and we featured him on our first commercial.
Wow.
So that was, again, like just incredible. But so for him, his first goal was to lose weight. He had a lot of weight that he wanted to lose. And then he's like, okay, I've lost the weight I want. I want to get stronger, have more energy. So now he's on a hormone program. So a testosterone program with us, with a couple other medications for, like, let's just say, and I'm not a doctor, not medical advice.
CEO though.
CPA here.
Accountant giving health advice here.
Take your debits. Don't forget to take your credits every morning.
Don't fuck up the T chart.
Yeah. Debit the fucking credit and credit the fucking debit. For you, like you might take, like, testosterone can help you. Testosterone makes effort feel good. So when you're going, it makes you want to go to the gym.
Yep.
So like for me, when I'm on testosterone, like I work all day. I'm up at 5:30 with my younger son. If I'm not up during the night, maybe even if I am, I'm then getting them off to school. Sometimes I'm working like helping them, getting them off out the door for a couple hours before I even get to the office. So I get to the office, put in as much work as I can while I'm there. Maybe go pick them up. Maybe my wife does. She works a ton too. Play with them for a few hours, make dinner, clean up, put them to bed. Finally, 8 o'clock rolls around. It's like, do I really want to go hop on the bike or lift some weights?
Yeah.
Like I just go downstairs, but like that drive, that desire, that energy for it, like that's what it, for me at least, it helps with. Having that energy, getting good sleep, feeling motivated, feeling confident. So that can, if you're working out more and getting more results from it, you're going to lose.
Yeah,
you lose
absolutely.
weight.
Did you get any other maybe health benefits out of taking testosterone?
What, like maybe like an increase in like your drive or libido?
Yeah.
100%. Sometimes
You, Ben?
sometimes to an annoying level.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's the pleats.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had to ask that question.
It's a common question.
I know,
It's
but-
one of the main benefits.
We need to know every single benefit.
I'm gonna go back to my wife. See, I told you. Should get on this stuff. I don't have that problem, by the way.
Didn't say that.
That's for John.
Yeah.
But actually, so then like what we're kind of expanding into is, so the weight loss drugs, those showed up like 21, 22, really getting popular. Well, we had 10 years of experience sending people injectable medications to their homes.
Yeah, you're already
It was
there.
perfect for us.
Yep.
Like this was our bread and butter.
Is that
So-
injected? Is that injected too?
Yeah.
Wait,
so
okay,
same
yeah.
thing.
So I'm actually connecting some dots here.
Yeah.
Can you explain what is the difference between what they're doing? Because is it hormone therapy?
No.
Yeah,
No, those are peptides.
I didn't think so.
Oh,
It's like,
those are peptides.
that's a peptide.
Well, I mean, insulin's a peptide. Peptides are kind of broad.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but so those GLPs are peptides. Some of the performance enhancing things are peptides that can make you. There's one. I mean, peptides are wild. There's a butyrate that makes you super hungry, and helps you build muscle. There's melanotan 2, which makes you tan.
No way.
It
Fanny
has
pads,
it
man.
has some.
Yeah, Ben needs that.
Yeah, you don't
Ben
want
comes
that one.
back
You don't want
orange
that
every
one.
once in a while.
No, it's got some weird
Turns
side effects.
like Oompa Loompa orange.
It can if you take it. No, but it also has like the side effect of involuntary yawning and stretching. I swear,
Ben already has that problem.
In the Garfield
It's all right. I'm tan.
yeah. But no, so those are all peptides are broad. That's a broad category. Some are research purposes only. We don't do that. But so the weight loss ones, those are GLP-1s. What's the difference between that and what we would do versus the name brand? Like those are FDA approved. They're commercial drugs and they were in shortages. And so that's why you had so many companies offering a compounded version, which is the same active ingredient, but it's just not commercially available. It's not FDA approved, but it's the same medication.
That's crazy. That stuff's approved. I've literally, I know a few people that have been on it, and like it's caused some serious health issues for some people.
Oh, really?
I'm not gonna name them. I'm not gonna name them.
No.
But the big one
say
out
it.
there, everyone knows.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get sued. All right. I'm not saying that shit. Even though I said it earlier.
I mean, if stuff happens, stuff happen. I mean, that's
Yeah.
But I know a couple people, someone very close to me, who's had some health issues because of it.
Yeah.
And they had to end up getting off it.
Yeah.
So it's like, to where I have not heard anyone personally that has been on any sort of hormone therapy.
Yeah.
That's happened to.
Yeah. So you guys mentioned early on in this conversation, like you hear negative things about it.
Yep.
So there's a doctor, Dr. Peter Attia. He's really popular.
Oh,
He's on
amazing.
Joe Rogan podcast, man.
He's
Oh
awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Great guy.
so Attia, he's got a book called Outlive, and I think it's like chapter 2.
And he studies like longevity, right?
Yeah.
Like health
yeah.
longevity.
Yeah, I have that book.
Yeah. It's a great one.
Didn't read the whole thing, but
Yeah. But even like, so you probably got through like the first like page like 40 or something. He talks
I got
about.
through the title
I mean,
page.
it's a huge book.
It's so thick,
It's
dude.
so
I
big.
didn't finish. I listened to it.
Yeah, I listened to probably half.
Yeah.
Some I listened to Sauna.
Yeah. Sauna. But like in Atiya's book, he talks like early on, like 40, 50 pages in, he talks about how like the greatest disservice in the medical field is genuinely, you can find like it's like 40 pages in, is the misconceptions around hormone therapy for women. Is because it's like he talks about, you can lie with statistics easily. And so this is a situation where people said there's this 20% increase in the risk of breast cancer. But in absolute terms, it was like from 5 to 6 out of 1,000 people. But the benefits were ridiculous. And so in his opinion, there's a huge misconception about it. And if these things are abused or done wrong, like, yeah, you can totally have issues.
You ever have too many beers? I mean,
No. Yes. I definitely
No,
have.
never.
Yeah.
you don't want to have too many beers. It can end badly. But yeah, I mean, I think everyone, if you take it as it's prescribed or as it's supposed to be taken, I mean, I'm positive the benefits outweigh the cons.
But that's where you
If
guys
any.
come in, where there's risk if you abuse or you don't do it the right way, and you guys are there to have the
Yeah,
guardrails.
I mean, you can find this stuff online. You can find this stuff at the gym sometimes. You can go, like I said, primary care physicians, they're not trained in this. I interview our medical providers, and then they talk to our medical director. I just sort of screen and make sure like this fits with what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But I've had maybe 1 or 2 out of like dozens where they have experience in this. They don't train this in medical school.
Yeah.
So we've sort of got like a dozen years of experience, and our medical director has special training himself on peptides and on hormones. He's studied with one of the medical instructors at Harvard. Like, he knows his stuff.
Amazing.
Would you say what you guys do is like RFK approved?
Uh,
Can't say with a straight face.
I don't know if he's I don't think he's endorsing us specifically.
I'm sure he's on something.
That's
jacked.
that's the funny thing.
And he's
Kennedy.
Fair.
tan peptides.
But yeah.
I had to drop it then.
No, so here's kind of a funny story about that is like, okay, we're all Clevelanders. There's names that I see on our charts where I'm like, oh, that's the CEO of this company, or that's the owner of this business, or that's a doctor or an attorney that I've seen, on advertising.
Yeah.
A lot of people have an edge that they don't talk about. Hormones in particular are something like that most people don't talk about. That patient I mentioned that lost a lot of weight and wanted to be in a commercial, that's the exception. Most people, for some reason, don't want to talk about it. And that's okay. You don't have to. But there's people, I don't know about RFK, but I talked to my uncle he's out in California. He's a successful entrepreneur. His job is he gets up in front of hundreds of people and talks. He teaches them, as somebody who's built homes and knows real estate, he teaches them how to sell new homes for like real estate agents. He's done it for 25, 30 years. Very successful. But he's also 6'4" and like 250 pounds and like solid. So like for me growing up, I was like, I want to be like Uncle Den.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's,
I wouldn't want to be like Uncle Ben.
right? Yeah, you should have him on here next. But when I was getting ready to take this job, I was kind of like even I was like, gosh, like, okay, this is real. I might take this job. Like, do I want to get into this like testosterone thing? Like is it steroids? Should I do this? So I called him. I was like, Uncle Dan, what do you think about this? And his response was, Matt, I've been on testosterone for 25 years. How do you think I look like this? But you don't talk about that.
Yep. 100%.
I mean, that's the true story.
Wow.
So a lot of people,
What were his levels?
he takes the highest dose I've ever heard of. And
Gave him
he
4 inches.
The man grew
6'4"
at
now.
50 years old.
pure thought.
And it's not HGH, but
Yeah. No, he actually does, but I don't know his levels.
that's
Highest amount I've ever
well,
seen.
shit, man. Yeah, I mean, you probably don't want to come across like you have a crutch. I would imagine if you're, at least for me, like I wouldn't
Yeah.
really want to talk. I mean,
I mean, it feels like something's wrong with you.
I would talk about it to certain people, but I wouldn't broadcast it to everybody. Like, oh shit, like check it out, because you want to have that edge. I feel like,
Sure.
Especially as someone like a founder or a CEO, I feel like we have egos.
Sure.
And like we have, I'll say we got an ego, and you want to come across like you're this
You do it.
big, strong, powerful founder, and like you can do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, that's at least I would think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, we have in Columbus, we partner with Bobby Carpenter, who's a former Buckeye and professional football player. He's very open about it. He talks about being on a program with us, the benefits he has for years. But I can tell you there's a half dozen other former pro athletes that are on programs with us who don't want to talk about it.
Sure.
They don't want anybody to know.
Yeah.
And, maybe they similarly, the CEO founders and the pro athletes, they have this ego. They want to look and think that they can do this.
Natural to them. Or
yeah, that
whatever.
they're just
My
different. They're
body's-
just built different.
Yeah. I have an agent. I've been 25. Look at my, it's like,
Yeah.
well, you're actually.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it comes down to whether you think it's like cheating. I don't personally. I think for me, it's just feeling my best.
Do you think taking like protein powder is cheating, or John took creatine for a while? Like that's not cheating. I'd put this in the same bucket now. I feel like if you 10 years ago, you think it's cheating, but I think now there's been more,
Well, I mean, these are medications.
Yeah.
So you don't want to do this with like on your own. You want to do
Absolutely.
this with somebody under medical supervision.
Sure.
Because
maybe protein was the best example.
Yeah, but like the similar
No,
mindset.
but
You get the idea
Yeah.
though.
yeah.
All right. What about someone like me?
Yeah.
I've lost, probably about 25, 30 pounds over the
That's
past,
awesome.
I would say 4 or 5 months. I put on, I feel like more muscle mass than I have in a long time.
So how'd you do it?
Knees over toes.
I'll tell you exactly how I did it. I started lifting, You done?
Continue.
You
Go
done
on.
yet? No, keep laughing. Seriously.
Hey, that's my regimen. I'll tell you.
So I
saved me.
I built a house here in Jackson Township. Moved
Nice.
in October.
Nice.
And I was going to Lifetime. I hated it. I hated
Yeah.
Lifetime. Absolutely hated it. So I was like, I'm not going to a gym in Jackson. I'm building a gym in my basement.
Nice.
So I built a nice gym. I have nice dumbbells, treadmill down there. And what I did was I lifted consistently 4 or 5 times. I'd have maybe 1 or 2 weeks off throughout this last 12, 16 weeks.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was very consistent. My diet wasn't the best, but I ate pretty clean. But the big thing, when I dropped a lot of weight in January, what I didn't do the entire January?
Drink?
I didn't drink.
Yeah.
I didn't drink alcohol.
Yep.
And my normal process was, I've got a little one too, running around constantly, so I'm already burning more calories, typically than I normally would, because it's like my cardio essentially. And I was lifting weights on top of that with eating a lot of protein.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like the weight just came off.
Yeah.
I hadn't been below 200 pounds in a couple years. I'm almost below 190 now.
Yep.
Wow.
And I was probably 220
Wow.
back in October,
Yeah, it's
September. You
noticeable.
saw the gut.
Well, I mean, it's amazing what just consistent. It's like work. It's like if you guys have started this company. You had sales jobs. You were out there. You were the salespeople.
Oh, yeah.
I had a sales job. Making 100 phone calls a day. It's crazy how well that works when you do it for 6 months. You get results.
It's a numbers game. It's consistency,
it's all
man.
con-
I feel
yeah.
like
Yep.
anything consistent
Yeah.
leads to results.
Well, now I will say that having little kids, running a business, chaotic. If your spouse is working a lot, like my wife works a ton. She's that can make it tough to be consistent. That can throw you off. I was up for probably 2 hours last night because my son was just crying. So you get that, and that can make it tough too. So for me, when I can't stay consistent with it, when life happens, it's sort of, for me, it's like kind of like my backstop.
Yeah.
It helps me. It gives me some extra leeway. But when you can be consistent, like you probably don't need it. You're welcome to get your levels tested. But
I'm getting tested.
Yeah. 100%.
I feel like I have to now at this point. See, the thing about me is like I want the edge, dude.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
why would you not want to have the edge?
Yeah.
Especially if you do it, responsibly, and it's like there's no side effects for, and I obviously know there's no guarantee there's no side effects, but
Sure.
like why would you not want to have the edge?
I'm on the same page.
What is
Oh,
this?
you're getting labs too?
I think so. Why
All
not?
right.
What's this right here?
It's one of our sleep supplements.
It's okay. So you guys don't just do now. Is this obviously you group this under like your weight loss or is this,
No, so this only comes with our hormone programs. We don't sell these direct. We thought about it. It was like a vertical we considered.
Yeah.
Was like, do we stand this up? And we actually built the website. And we got to the end of it. We're like, this isn't our best opportunity.
Interesting.
So I think that's like, I mean, you guys probably have.
So it's just like a value add.
Yeah, I mean, this is just something that these pair well with our programs. And that's how we sort of build out a comprehensive program for everybody.
Because
Yeah.
you're more based on providing service. That's a good
Largely,
way to
yeah.
compete. That's
Yeah.
there's not much service.
No, there's no
there.
service component to that,
Yep.
but it Affinity Whole Health. we're not just sending you a vial of testosterone.
Sure. Sure.
You've got a patient care coordinator you can reach out to, a medical provider, everything you need included, and you're set.
Yeah. Do you have more of those types of things that?
Yeah. We have. So there's a few of our supplements I take every day. Sleep is one of them that helps. So I mentioned it's similar to what Andrew Huberman suggested.
Yep.
So apigenin, L-theanine, and magnesium.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so if I'm a 190-pound 30-year-old, no underlying health conditions, like what am I gonna feel like when I take this? Am I gonna be drowsy? Am I gonna get better quality sleep?
So this doesn't make you fall asleep.
Okay.
So that's not the goal of that supplement. That the goal of that is stay asleep, quality sleep.
Yep.
Which is what if you're a young,
Yeah.
if you're a parent of a young child, it's like, dude, that is even an extra 15 minutes, man.
Dude.
It's like I've never had a problem falling to sleep,
Me neither.
but
My wife hates it. She's like, I'll fall asleep and start snoring. She's like, I'm bragging. Like snoring when the other person can't fall asleep is bragging.
What a line, dude. That is so true.
it is.
It's a flex.
It's a huge
I
flex.
know my dad did it all those years.
Yeah,
yeah, that's why.
that's exactly.
I hated
why.
staying in a hotel room with that guy. Holy crap, dude! It's like you're sawing logs, like legit.
Dude.
It's like,
You're like,
dude.
something wrong with you? You're like, I slept great.
Well, yes.
Well, he had
actually.
sleep apnea, so there was something clearly wrong with him. He had sleep apnea. It's like, you need to get that checked out, Dad. And he's like, all right, yeah. And then he had sleep apnea.
Yeah.
But no, he's just. I remember going to like baseball games when I was a kid, travel baseball, and it's
Yeah.
like, dude, if you had to stay with me in a hotel room with him, good luck. You weren't sleeping. Better bring earplugs.
All right, Matt. So we have weight loss.
Yeah.
And we have hormones.
Yep.
Any other reasons that someone would go to Affinity Whole Health?
Those are the main ones. That's what we specialize in.
Okay.
We do more. We do, ED meds. We do.
Sure.
We do acne medicine. We do some skincare things, but
Okay.
those are typically add-ons.
Okay.
Those are typically things that people say, let's do these also.
Yeah.
Our specialty, our focus, what we've done for 12 years is hormone therapy. And in the last 3 years, it's been weight loss therapy. And actually what's great about that is those two combine exceptionally well, because when you take those weight loss drugs, you lose a lot of muscle typically. And hormones like testosterone can prevent that and preserve it.
So you'll have them take it together.
That combo's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you guys thinking about, like 3 to 5 years? Are we going to keep expanding? You guys going to add more products?
Yeah, is it
New
beef up?
states, new facilities? Like,
Yeah.
what's your 3 to 5 year? We're doing this.
Yeah, what do you tell the team?
Actually, so every month I send a message to my team after the end of the month. I say, this is the results we got. This is how we perform. This is new people. This is what we're looking at. New ad that's coming out. Here's a preview, stuff like that. I try to communicate, but admittedly, like, I'm not good at it. I'm not a good communicator to my team. I need to improve on it. I've been working at it. But this past month, I said, hey, listen, our goal is to increase the number of patients we service.
Yep.
How many patients do we service? When I started, we had about 1,000. Now we have over 2,500. And my goal is 3,000 at the end of the year and 10,000 by the end of 2023.
Okay.
Or 2030, rather.
Okay.
So that's the target. Now, the way we get there, it may be more physical clinics. It probably will be.
That's the what?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. So it'll probably be, we service, like there's some places we service without a physical location currently, like Pennsylvania and Georgia. So maybe we stand up a location there.
Yep. How much more valuable is it standing up a location there? Like,
It's a
have
trade-off.
you done this before?
Have we done
Launched virtually and then put a place in?
that?
Or has it always just been put a...
No, the last two, Indianapolis and Chicago, we stood up the location and then we launched it.
Okay.
And it's tough.
Yeah.
Because you're burning a lot to get that going. And so that strategy is kind of one where we're like, it really probably would be beneficial. There's also a ton of regulations around what we do. You gotta get pharmacy license, doctor's license, real estate, build it out, marketing. Marketing's tough.
Run a 10-minute mile, probably.
So you still need a doctor in each state?
throw everything random.
Or you could have them in
Essentially,
Ohio?
our model is that physical location.
Yeah.
So you're typically going to have somebody there.
Okay.
It can be done virtually. People do it virtually.
Yeah.
But our value add oftentimes is I'd really like to know somebody local,
Yep.
that lives in my community that I can shake their hand before I take this and inject it.
Yep.
Especially like you said, like that first time.
For sure.
If somebody's been doing this for years, maybe they're comfortable with.
Yeah. Like I'm just looking for a better price or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
for me, if I would do it, I'm coming in and I'm learning
No
everything.
question.
Yeah.
lowering the risk at least in my mind.
It's nice to have, like, our patients literally have the phone number of their patient care coordinator. They have one person to talk to.
Amazing.
And you can text them and just be like, hey, Glenn, Sean, I experienced this side effect. Is this normal? Yep, totally normal. Or no, let's get you scheduled to talk with somebody.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
That is just
it's similar to what you guys do.
Yeah, I mean, it's
absolutely.
I feel like
How
for
do
me
you
to
compete?
I feel like I would much rather try this than like the HIMSS route, where it's
If I'm not going to go see anyone at HIMSS, I completely agree.
Well, and that's the challenge. Is you hear about HIMSS, you hear about Roman exploding, growing, the stock price expansion, millions of patients, and it's like it is tough to not jump on that bandwagon of being totally asynchronous and virtual and just a form you fill out and then we'll send it to you kind of thing. Like you got to stand, you got to stick with your guns with it a little bit.
Got to be different too. You got to be different. It's differentiated. It's a different market. I feel like you're not serving every Joe Schmo, in Ohio. So
We did the same thing with against DoorDash. In the
Yeah,
beginning.
what was that like?
Well, out of college, we tried to do the on-demand delivery model here in Canton,
Yeah,
and we had an app made. Wasn't very good,
yeah.
and it was horrible.
I heard your guys. I was listening to your first episode, just you guys talking about your story, and you're like it would crash and it wouldn't tell you what was wrong. And
It would say something went wrong after you just typed in literally everything.
yeah,
Your credit card number, all this. But we came back here, tried to get it to work, and we were getting orders. Would be like one a day or something, and you're charging $7. It's like you're not making any money. And we went into Ruby Tuesday, and they said you could do catering. So we tried it, and that worked. And then it clicked that if we brought service versus just this mass-produced, if you brought this customer service that was desperately needing when it came to DoorDash with their drivers, and then their drivers didn't have anyone to reach out to.
right.
So if we brought, in-house customer service, and then we brought a better service to the restaurants, then we could compete in this market.
And so your customer became the restaurant.
Customers with the restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah, we switched that because it was just like DoorDash.
Right.
Same thing. And the restaurant needed better service, and then the drivers needed better service.
Yeah.
If the drivers were on a DoorDash delivery, they would have to email DoorDash that, hey, I can't find the customer.
And then how long does that take?
How long does what take?
For you're emailing, they're getting back to you. It's like this food's cold, man.
Yeah, you're done. So that's why they just wouldn't even deliver the food half the time. So they're like, can't find them.
It's like we're here today because we were different. We didn't follow the other routes that every other big public traded company did. We found our lane and we went down it. I think you guys are doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
But that's our goal. I mean, I said 10,000 patients, not 10 million.
Yep.
Like so what
that has intention. That's intentional.
Yep.
That's purposeful.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, cool, man. Hey, this has been a wonderful conversation.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm much more educated on what this industry is now.
Yep.
At least the people you're servicing. We do like to close out the conversation with a little fun. I did want to throw a curveball at you. Okay?
All right.
We do like a thing called this or that. It's really just an open-ended question. It could be a yes or no. It's typically around your industry, Northeast Ohio. It's almost just like rapid fire too.
Okay.
These are easy questions. So, John, why don't you lead us off?
Favorite restaurant in Cleveland?
Oh, you know what? I was listening to Cruz's interview on the drive up here, and you asked him that, and I was like, gosh, I wonder what my answer would be. I didn't even come up with one. Right now, it's probably the really quick service Mexican restaurant next to my house where they don't mind that my kid just destroys chips everywhere. And we're in and out in like a half hour. So I love that. If it's just me and my wife, there's a spot in North Royalton, north of here, called In the Weeds. It's a florist in the day, and then at night it's a restaurant.
That's pretty
with
cool.
a bar. And the last time we were there, we met the owners, and we were taking shots of tequila, and so we like that spot.
I like that.
Imagine that merchant for us. We're doing floral delivery for them.
Yeah.
We're doing caterings in the afternoon.
Yep.
We're doing their mealtime deliveries at night. It's like 3 different verticals.
Yeah, hook it up.
Wow.
You guys
never
deliver.
heard about that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we just don't do catering. We do
Right.
we do everything.
But
Grocery.
that's the prime. That was the start of the primary.
That was.
And,
That's how we made our name.
Yeah.
Is the catering. But like now that we have this great software business, we're able to service all different types of verticals.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But yeah, floral. I've never heard of a florist / restaurant
Yeah.
in one.
That's awesome.
And bar. We do alcohol as well, so we do deliver alcohol. Shit. What's the name of this company again?
In the Weeds.
In the Weeds.
Yeah.
I'll be getting an email from Aaron and I deliver
All right,
that.
Darian.
Excellent.
All right, you look like a very healthy, fit guy. All right.
Just trying to wear the same size clothes.
I'm actually just going down sizes, which
That's
is
nice.
it's also a pain in the ass because you got to get all new stuff. But would you rather spend a workout lifting some weights? Or would you rather go on like a run, or you mentioned a bike? Like, what's the ideal workout?
Yeah, I like to ruck. Just put on a heavy pack. Just go walk. I walk hills.
Dude, what's your weight? What's your number? Like, 40, 50 pounds in there?
30. I've been looking at grabbing another like 10-pound weight. Yeah, plus water.
I got a 40-pound vest
All right,
that I will do.
All right.
When did we would walk Murphy and we'd be switching the vest. You'd carry it for a while. I'd carry it.
Yeah.
Like Dogs Murphy, yeah.
Yeah. So that, and I like to lift weights. But honestly, like I've just bounced from one injury to another. It seems like the last few years. I had shoulder surgery in 2020. This shoulder was messed up. This hip was messed up. So I was like, honestly, it just feels like I go from PT to PT.
Yep.
I
You
finally
an athlete growing up?
little, yes, mostly soccer and some other sports. So I found a really good chiropractor I go to, and so he's sort of getting me set up and doing a lot of PT. Nice. But otherwise, lifting weights.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think if I'm in my zone, I'd prefer like a very long run.
Yeah.
I think that's like it's almost like
You zone out.
dude. It's just so it's like you get the runner's high.
Yeah.
You get 2 or 3 miles in, you just feel like you just go. Yeah. So.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So you talked about Peter Attia,
Yeah.
Huberman.
Yeah.
Who is your favorite to listen to out of all of whatever they are?
Yeah.
Podcasts, hosts, experts in their field, whatever.
Probably Tim Ferriss.
Yeah.
I think the 4-Hour Work Week flipped a switch for me. It's an outdated book now, in his specific actions.
Sure.
Like you're not getting 10-cent Google ads anymore.
Yeah.
But the first half of that book, 80-20, Parkinson's Law, like that still is so relevant. He's probably my favorite. I think he's a really good interviewer.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Do you ever read the 4-Hour Body, whatever it is next?
Oh yeah, dude.
Benzel loves that one.
The slow carb diet, that's off the charts.
Yeah. All right, I'll end with this one. Okay. We're all. You live in downtown Cleveland still?
No, we built in Broadview Heights.
Okay, awesome. This is going to be a direct shot at John, kind of.
How many potholes are on my street right now?
Don't ruin my question. All right. Besides the craters that line the streets of Cleveland, what's one thing you'd like to see? From whether it's a rejuvenated flats area, is there anything in the city of Cleveland you'd say, hey, it'd be nice to have this?
That's a good question.
Yeah. So I lived
besides actual drivable roads.
Fair point. No, I lived downtown for
I'm not going to
8
stop
years.
doing this.
So I'm well aware of the potholes. Like especially in the winter, you're driving, all of a sudden they hide. The snow covers them, and then suddenly you're a foot deep.
Popped 8 tires in 2 years there, dude.
Wow.
2 years. I had thin tires, and I'm a terrible driver, obviously.
Yeah, you have to eventually question the operator
After
after the fifth.
there's one consistent
Jesus
characteristic
Christ.
here.
Yeah, it's the potholes.
Yeah.
That's consistent.
I don't know, man. I think I think Cleveland gets a bad rap. I think we're too hard on ourselves. If there's something to improve, it's probably like the waterfront, over by like Burke. Just say what people will say it's never going to happen or whatever. If it could happen,
It'd be so cool to have like the big, like almost like a like
green space, mixed use
shopping center.
There's just
there.
so much nice waterfront.
I know,
and
man.
going through the Cuyahoga. Now they're building
Yeah.
like the Cavs and Cleveland Clinic are building that thing.
Like you'll walk through like down the river when the river comes in a little bit. It's like,
Yeah.
that's like almost like Chicago-esque.
I know.
Yeah.
Right? It's like they could be like a little mini Chicago.
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity that just has never really happened.
We talked about it when we were in Chicago. We're like, damn, Cleveland has the same water.
Chicago on the Erie.
Yep, there
That's
you
what
go.
it could be called. That'd be the phrase. All right, man. Really, really great conversation.
Yeah, this is fun.
I learned a lot.
This was fun. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
our viewers out there,
course.
where can they find Affinity, like yourself? Are you
Yeah.
guys active on LinkedIn, a website? Like,
Yeah. In Cleveland, it's feelgreatcleveland.com. Otherwise, it's Affinity Whole Health. We like the Feel Great websites, Feel Great Indy, Feel Great Columbus, Feel Great Illinois, because Affinity Whole Health, a lot of times people do Infinity Whole Health. So we actually have to target that on Google.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
We have to
yeah,
we have
SEO's got to be on point.
Yes, we were also that here. Just
So that's where they can find us. That's the best spot.
Awesome,
great.
man.
I like it.
Yeah, really good time today, guys.
Yeah.